We're live! Welcome everyone to the Australian Survivor, the live reality game shows podcast, where we are recapping Australian Survivor Brawn versus Brawn. I'm your host Lee. With me today, once again, is Susan and Jessica. How are you two doing?
Great. Ready to talk about these episodes. Not that the episodes were so exciting, just key moments, I guess.
Yeah. If you pay attention to my background, if you replace the word teacher with twist, it describes these last 3 episodes.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah. So, I really forgot how we do these.
We'll talk about the first one with Tez.
Yeah. So, first
That's
episode.
the most interesting part of that episode.
The only good episode out of these block of 3. Well, before big things happen, we see in the beginning, after Simon gets voted off with 2 idols, back when it meant something, we'll talk about it, everyone gets together, and we already start off with the first biggest twist of this merge. The merged tribe is not a black tribe, like usually in Australian Survivor. It's actually a color. So already starting off with these huge twists.
So huge.
Yeah.
They must have got a budget.
Yeah. Well done. And we immediately get to a reward challenge where it's like a catapulting challenge to win reward, but it's a first come first serve reward where everybody will get something, just not everybody will get equal opportunities. First off, are you guys excited that we're at the merge?
Very excited.
Yeah, I think merge is when more stuff happens that's exciting. Usually.
Yeah.
Anyone that you're surprised is at the merge? Anyone that you're surprised is not in the merge? Anyone you wish made it to that point?
I wish Phil would have made it to merge and not get first boot. I'm still not over Phil.
Phil deserves so much better.
Yeah, so Phil for All Stars 2.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad Simon and Emmett aren't both together. I can handle one
without
or the other, but not both together
at the same time. Yeah, good thing they got separated from tribes. Thank you, Australian Survivor. Or actually, it's no longer Australian Survivor Brawn versus Brawn. It's Australian Survivor George versus Haley versus Emmett versus Danny, featuring the others.
Pretty much.
Who's gonna win? And immediately, Haley's the first one to get it, and then George gets his, and we immediately see them start strategizing. And everyone else is continuing. We get some screen time from Chelsea since she gets a phone call from home. Now, I want to ask you guys, which one would you have gone for? Would you gone for food, or would you gone for home?
It depends for me. It depends how hungry I am, and depends how, like, if I just got a reward or anything. And for me, it almost, if I get a call from home, it almost makes it worse for me, because then it's like I hear a lot of people are like, oh, a phone call from home will give me motivation. It's like, no, that will make me miss them more. And so I just need to like not focus on that and just need to focus on what's going to actually get me farther, because you're not allowed to strategize with them. Like in like American Survivor, if they come, you can strategize with them because they're there. Yeah. You can't do that over a phone call. So if I'm going to call like Craig, for example, I want to strategize, talk with him, not do it in front of everybody. So for me, the phone call is just like almost a waste. I'd rather get food, to be honest. But
I'm going to go with food because it just makes me happier. I don't want to be all stat. I'm already out there. I mean, just feed me and give me some energy, and I'll talk to them hopefully after I win.
Yeah, right.
We see everyone gets rewards from pizza to steak to 1 egg.
The 1 egg.
Yeah. A single banana. Gerald, of course, gets the milk.
Love it.
Yeah. And we hear that Danny is not happy being the split vote at last tribal. And she is gunning for Haley. And Haley knows it.
When is Danny not gunning for Haley? That's the real question.
When she didn't have screen time.
There's your answer.
Because all of a sudden, like, here's Danny. Like, we lost Shannon. Here's the next Brawn girl that we're throwing at you.
Exactly.
Once Haley gone.
But I
Everybody.
do like that they didn't have a merge feast though. I thought that was kind of
Well,
interesting.
that kind of was their merge feast.
Exactly. So some people
Yeah.
got it and some people didn't. So
I
Yeah.
like the merch feast. I think that's one of like the bonding times for all of them and stuff where they can relax but still game. So I like the merch feast episodes.
And I liked how they folded up the buffs. I thought for sure one of them was gonna have like
And
a clue
secret
or something
advantage
in it because of the way they were folded.
Because we need another 20th idol or advantage in the game.
I was thinking that with the food reward, because I remember when Emmett got like a jar of sweets.
Mm-hmm.
My mind immediately went to Chance vs. Contenders 1 when Shawnee had that and she found a vote steal in it. It's like, don't tell me Emmett gets an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, there was no advantage yet. Another Australian Survivor first, no advantage. And another Australian Survivor first, we get to see this tribe name. They start thinking of tribe names. They're going through a couple. One option was Queen Elizabeth.
I love it.
I would try and think of an Elizabeth Queen survivor, but out of the three, none of them really. But they landed on the Fire Tribe.
Fire Tribe. I love it.
Fire. Now, does this go down in history as one of the worst tribe names, or does America
At least
still
they
take that
changed
title?
it from just Bronze and Brain Tribe. At least they have a different name.
Yeah.
America was one of the worst.
I love it.
I mean, I was like thinking, ooh, I wonder if they're going to name it the Beauty Tribe.
Oh, they
we came close with the Love Tribe. But no, we landed on Fire. What are some of the worst tribe names you guys heard? It doesn't have to be just like mainstream Survivor. It could be like orcs or other fan survivors that you guys have watched or participated in.
Off topic. I don't know.
I know in Real Foot 4, if anyone's watching Real Foot 4, they named it from their merge tribe was Sassafras. That was their tribe name. But I thought that was original, but it was kind of, it was hit or miss for me. So
I think for me, a couple college ones come to mind, like a tribe called Quest from Survivor Boston, or Bay Squad from Survivor Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't, other than Boa Foa, I don't really remember any other particular tribe names because they don't really do stuff as a tribe. I mean, Foa Foa obviously did. That's why
all the way back in Samoa.
Yeah, so I don't really.
It's like you don't see that
name, to be honest. When you think about it, I'm like, oh man, what were some of the names?
Yeah. I think after America, that's literally when they stopped introducing what should we name the merge tribe? Because I'm pretty sure every season after that, it just appeared in the bottom corner, like Orkun, Dara, Vanaka, all that.
It's kind of sad that they don't do that though, because it's kind of like something.
Yeah, I mean, we see it in Australian Survivor, like Chance vs. Contenders 2, when they came up with that merge tribe. I forget the name of it, but I think Andy, the idiot person on it, was like, "Oh, it means this one," but it's in the title. Actually, it means this sacrifice.
I do remember that, but I don't remember the name of it.
I think somebody did that in American Survivor, right? They came up with a name that they said meant happiness, but it was like their mom's name spelled backwards.
Oh, yeah. Malcolm did that. It was like Anil Adam. Or
like, something like that.
Eric Reichenbach saying, let's name the tribe Dabu. It means well. And he's like, I don't know what it means. I just made up a funny word. Yeah, so thanks, Worlds Apart, for once again ruining something. God, that was a bad season. Or bad for me. I know some people weirdly like it. Okay. So, merge. Although the Brains are at a 7-6 majority, they're really at 8-5 minority, since George and Kara are anti-Brains at the moment. Well, they're the brains of the Brawn people. So Haley, Baden, Wei, Laura, and Andrew are on the bottom. Do you think George and Kara should actually stick with old brains for like a vote or two, or just be like, nah, fuck them?
It's tricky. It's one of those. I mean, I don't know if they do or they don't. I think the outcome doesn't change for them. They're still on the bottom either way.
Exactly.
I mean, are they really on the bottom? You know?
No. I mean, like, I think this is just more my bias talking, since I like more of the brains people than I do some of the brawn people. So I'm like, no, work with the brains. Like, you can easily work with like Haley and Baden and Wei to get rid of like Laura and Andrew, and then get rid of all the brawns who keep saying, yeah, we're brawn strong. Original brawn, not including you two.
I like how they keep saying they're part of the original Brawn, but they're definitely not. So.
No. I mean, the immunity challenge kind of showed that maybe George is a secret brawn.
Maybe.
Yeah. However, we see Haley go to Flick, be like, hey, you and Gerald flip with us, and Flick is like, thanks, but no thanks. Brawn wants to stick together, even though
of course
they're kind of, I don't want to say dysfunctional, but they're like, it's very obvious on like how everybody's ranked, and they're kind of blind seeing it. I don't know if that's just a good job on, I know, Emmett's part, being like, yeah, we're all brawn strong, or if they're all just that dense. Which ones do you think? Is Emmett that good, or are they just that dumb?
I'm just gonna go with they're that dumb.
Yeah.
Because if you can't see that, then
yeah, like the tribe was literally like a Simon alliance and a Shannon alliance, but now that their leaders are gone, it's like, yeah, we're going to work together, and the Shannon alliance people are like, this is great, while the Simon alliance people is like, this is temporary. Now, does that show like who had the better leadership skills?
I just don't think people expect like the higher ones like Shannon and Simon to go. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they really had a plan like, oh, we want them gone, but I don't think they really thought of what they were going to do after they were gone.
Yeah,
they just thought, okay, we rule now.
Yeah, because Haley kind of saved Flick. Like, if Simon played an idol and they all still voted him, it would have been Flick going home. Like, should Flick be a little more grateful and be like, yeah, maybe I could work with this person who wanted to keep me over these people that were happy to see me go as a backup?
She's still on the bottom, I think, no matter what. But
right. I mean, sometimes playing with the devil, you know, versus where you don't know. I mean, at least she knows where their head is at with her, and she can probably play that. I mean, it is a season of a lot of confusion, as we're about to get up to. So
yeah, I'm delusion. The more I'm watching this, the more I'm understanding how Kara got confused with the vote, because they keep throwing out names and then changing them. Because I don't know if this is now. Yeah, it's around now. Because we hear Emmett go on and be like, yeah, we know Haley has an idol. We're going to tell everyone it's Haley, but it's really Andrew. And then after Immune Channel's like, we're going to tell everybody it's Haley, but it's really Laura. It's like, wait, where'd the Laura come in this? I thought it was Andrew.
Yeah.
Make up your mind, people. Core 8 not cracking. However, we have our good old politician, George, who's feeling all MTV's a challenge and starts playing double agents.
Ooh.
Where him and Kara are going to play both sides, and right now they're planning on at least knocking out one Brawn and telling Haley how to do everything. So will it work? We know, but we'll see. Immunity challenge. Hold up a ball. Not that interesting. Surprisingly, Wei was not the first one out, so good on you, Wei. Gerald is the first one out. Not the first time he has dropped the ball literally in a challenge like this. Maybe he was on the wrong tribe. He's definitely not a brain. George is secretly a challenge beast and actually makes it pretty far. Like, he was one of the last 4 people.
I thought he was doing good. I was like, George might actually win this.
Yeah, I don't think he's a weak player. I mean, he's obviously smart enough, but I expected him to win, though, even though he didn't.
I would be out first in that challenge, just so everyone's aware. I'd be first out. 100%.
Same. I have like no arm strength or strength in general. What is strength?
Don't know.
Just act confused, be like, "Oh, we weren't supposed to bounce it," and then people get so bad.
Yeah. Kara's like, "Oh, so it's whoever drops it the first wins. Yay! Oh, we're supposed to throw it now? Can we roll? Is it bowling? Are we playing cricket? That's an Australian sport, I think." Emmett wins immunity.
Surprise
Yay for Emmett. Yeah. Will he win immunity again?
You shall see.
Yeah. God, that's going to be. So we're back at camp, and we hear the plan of the Core 8 be like, we're going to say Haley, but we're really doing Laura. Because apparently Emmett just really wants Laura gone from their original tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Was Laura the right option? Maybe they should have done somebody else? Or is it pretty much like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I guess you will go?
I think that's the way they're deciding, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Same. I don't know why it's like, I don't know why they just didn't stick with Haley. It's like the likelihood that she thinks that they're going to say her and do somebody else is high. So
yeah, I think it's like they fear the idols. Like, oh, she's probably going to play her idol because she knows she pulled off the big move and Danny's pissed at her. So we'll try somebody else. And then Double Agent George I can't speak English. George starts his double agent espionage trip where he runs down and tells Haley, okay, this is how the vote's going. Play your idol on Laura, and then quickly runs off. He doesn't know, and he's like, vote for this Brawn. Do what I tell you to do. But at the moment, he doesn't know what Brawn to do. Until Kez, good old Kezer, gives him a reason to vote for her. She notices his clean rock along the water, and Kez finds her second idol. Yay, Kez! And how does George celebrate Kez finding the idol? By making her the target. Were you guys... That was actually kind of good on Kez and interesting that the fact that she noticed this odd rock that was suspiciously clean. Did you guys like the... I guess Jessica didn't like it at all.
She must have just joined back in.
She was so upset at this that she just left.
I mean, God, all these 2 idols out there this season.
Yeah. Kez is really getting her Wentworth comparison, finding a second idol, and then getting voted off with it. She's a real Wentworth, isn't she?
We can add her to the list. Well, she technically doesn't leave with 2 idols.
Well, she doesn't leave with 2 idols. She doesn't even leave with 1 idol. We'll get into it. Hopefully Jessica will come back when
we get to this part.
When she recovers,
intrigued over it.
When she recovers from being just so upset about what just happened in the episode. She just needs a minute.
We get that way.
Yeah. So George runs to his brain people and be like, vote Kez, and then dashes off before anyone can seize him. And then Haley is like, George is a snake. Should I really trust it? Maybe they actually are voting for me. Do I play this idol for Laura? Do I play for myself? Maybe they're throwing somebody else's name out. So tribal happens. Brawn's in typical Brawn fashion make it extremely obvious that... Oh, here she is.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
You were upset. It was a horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for recovering from what just happened with how upset you were that Kez noticed something.
I was so upset. I just had to leave. I couldn't deal it.
Yeah. It's almost just as upsetting as Phil going home first. Mm-hmm. We will never get over it.
We will never get over it.
No.
Nope. Not until you come up with some weird twist to bring him back. I know you're thinking of it.
No, with the way this season is going.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
Plot twist. Everyone vote off pre-merge is coming back.
Maybe there's a game within a game.
Yeah, they're all going to lip sync for their life and pull out flags and drinks out of their tits.
Oh my god, that Oh my god, I just can't even. Nope.
Yeah, but this isn't a drag race podcast. That's maybe another time. Maybe I've been talking about maybe we should do a drag race one. And hopefully this Australian version of a US loved show won't go as down as Drag Race Down Under. Anyway, we see tribal happens. Brawn does their thing where they make it completely obvious, like, you're on the bottom, we're superior, fuck you. And they're all like, there's nothing we can do, there's no cracks. And they're all just banking on, like, please don't let Haley play her idol on the right person. Because they don't have the numbers to split. They only have the numbers to pile them all. Although, no, they didn't even try to make somebody flip. And Haley gets up with her public immunity idol. I feel like there should be like more of those. I know we have. It's like in the middle of a challenge. Like there are 2 hidden immunity idols over there, one for each tribe. Whoever grabs it can keep it.
The fact that she's managed to keep on to it this long is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why.
Like the first time we did it, I think it works better as a defense mechanism. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say it had 2 idols, obviously, because that's just silly, but having the one as a shield because anything can go wrong, I feel like it works better. I think it being public knowledge helped her.
Yeah, like we saw how she used it as a fear to the Brawn tribe when they had that double tribal situation where Shannon went. And then they just, Simon revealed his two idols. It's like, you having 2 hidden ones is more dangerous than Haley having one that everybody knows about. Once again, propping how much Simon just shot himself in the foot twice. 1 for each idol. So Haley gets up and she miraculously plays her idol on Laura. And did she vote correctly? I mean, did she obviously voted correctly. Did she? I know how to use buttons and talk.
It's okay.
Did she choose correctly? And the answer is
the fact that
yes.
Everyone on Brawn's face kind of like went definitely.
Yeah. They're all like
crazy.
Yeah, they knew that they made the wrong decision. They see one. Although they did this little thing, the editing, they showed Laura writing down Danny's name, which probably, I don't know about you guys, made me think, oh, are they not listening to George and being like, thanks, George, for telling us who to vote for. We're going to vote for whoever we want now.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah. But no, it was just a precaution in case Kez played her idol. We see that Kez went home. What are your thoughts on Kez this journey? The first person to go at merge and not even making the jury.
Poor babe.
Why wouldn't she play her idol when another idol was played? Especially like we said with Simon, it's not like with Haley, you have this one idol and you better play it properly. You have 2 idols.
Right, exactly.
Be safe, not sorry and home with 2 idols like Simon. But I guess she really doesn't have them, so.
Yeah.
I think judging by Kez's exit, it's like she didn't think like, oh, they're probably not going to vote for me. Why would they vote for me? They probably vote for, like, they are all pissed off at Danny. They're probably going to vote for her.
Yeah. See, if I was Kez and Laura played it on somebody else or if Haley played on someone else other than Laura, I would not play my idol. But if she played her idol on Laura, that like, at least to me, would like indicate somebody told somebody something, because there's no way you can just like randomly guess. I can see if their alliance was like 3 people.
Yeah.
And you just guess. But that's 5 people in one alliance and you just happen to guess the person. Yeah. Like, come on.
Like how Laura correctly guessed when she played her idol on Rachel.
Yeah.
Compared to how Haley correctly guessed on Laura.
Right.
Like that was only between 2 other people. 3 other people. I was trying to think, did somebody have a weird immunity, but that was the tribal after. Compared to 5.
Right.
But Kez goes sad. Like, I think she was like an early favorite for a lot of people. Like, she was getting those Wentworth comparisons. She joins another unique vote off. We're getting a few this season. We got 3 already. And only 2 involving idol plays. a blindside, a mistake, and Kez. And you think, oh, Kez got voted off with an idol. No wonder people compare it to Wentworth. Plot twist. She gave her idol to Flick before her torch was snuffed. And this had the internet going wild because, wait, when was it a rule that you're allowed to give people idols?
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Somebody was asking when the rule changed. So it used to be okay. Like, has this happened? Like, I know my memory's kind of crappy. Like, have people done that in the past?
I didn't think it was allowed.
Yeah, I don't think, because we have these people being like, oh, look at all these people that got voted off with idols.
Yeah, because then it's like, why didn't you just give it to somebody? Maybe it's you can give it to somebody before your torch is snuffed.
Well,
I don't know.
I thought, like, I mean, you're really not out until your torch is snuffed. But on the flip side, I mean, that's not even true half the time either. If it was a fake vote out,
right?
That's I mean, we're back to the catch-22. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, this is definitely, this is the first on-screen one, because I said this earlier. I saw on Twitter that apparently in San Juan del Sur, when John, the not racist one, when he got voted off with an idol, he apparently gave his to Jacqueline, but Jacqueline just never used it, and so they've probably thought there's no point showing this. Jacqueline didn't use it at all. And again, that's just a rumor. We don't know if it's true. But it does kind of defeat the whole, like, oh, I managed to vote off somebody with an idol, because they'll just give their idol back away to someone.
Right.
Now, have they said anything if it's a valid idol to Flick, or?
No.
The editors decided not to even give Flick a reaction to, oh my god, I have this idol, because
that's why I thought it wasn't real. Like that she couldn't do it because she hasn't had a confessional about it. You haven't heard other people talk about it, and they haven't come out and said that it is or isn't.
Yeah, and even after these
why
episodes,
keep that in the edit when they sent it out and this is the way we edit the show? Why put that particular
shot in there?
Yeah. Maybe because it became a moment in, like, the third episode with the whole Haley versus George situation, where it's like, I know George is leaking me information because he told me these things.
Maybe.
So maybe that's why they showed it. Wei was apparently happy to get Rachel's trousers. Because apparently Kez had them?
Yeah. Kez is just a giver.
Yeah. She's just giving out everyone's like, you have this idol, you have this person's trousers, you have a slap in the face for voting for me. And that's it. Bye, Kez. We wanted to see more of you, but for some reason the edit. What were your guys' thoughts on Kez throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't nothing special. She wasn't bad. I didn't really anticipate her making it further. Like, I mean, I was surprised she made merge, but I didn't really have her pegged up there to go far.
Yeah. She kind of lost me when she described herself as Play-Doh, because I was a little confused. I'm like, you're Brawn strong, but now you're going to flip. I'm like, okay.
I think in the first 3 episodes, when they featured her finding the idol, it's like, wow, Kez is like this player. She could go really far. And then after that, it just got like nothing. And then, the whole.
We have George and Kara and Danny, and they're just more entertaining than the rest.
I mean, not even Kara, really.
Well, her confusion and just airheadedness entertains me.
Yeah, the editors really love George and Danny all of a sudden, and Haley's getting featured, and of course Emmett, because he's Emmett. So we get to the next episode. Bye, Kez. We miss you. George goes off about how, like, wow, he managed to do this huge plan to play in between alliances. Hold on, I'm trying to read my notes. George is going off about his secretary plan, and he and Kara are going back and forth between Annalise and Target. I don't know how to spell alliance. Okay. They talk about how they're now. We saw in the beginning how George, Kara, and Baden were like a trio together, and they weren't on the same tribe during the swap. They're still close apparently, but they're nervous that Baden might be getting a little too close to the other brains and start targeting Andrew, who we've heard nothing from for like 10 episodes.
When he talked to this tribal, I was like, oh, he speaks. I didn't even know what his voice sounded like, to be completely honest.
I forgot his name.
There's been a lot of that this season.
Yeah, like I kept calling Gerald Garrett. I think I called
Laura Laurel.
I called Laura Laurel because I think the challenge was on my mind for some reason. I forgot Andrew's name. Danny, I didn't actually know his actual name until I had to write it down in my boot order list. It's like, oh, that's your real name. Because then there's Big D, and then there's Big D and Big Brother. There's too many Big Ds.
Too many Big Ds.
Baden. Then we hear Baden's side of his relationship with George and Kara, mainly George, because that's who the editors love. Kara is just the back wheel, the third wheel. He says like he's great to have George as an ally, but he knows how dangerous he is.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep George next to you at all times.
Right.
It's like he's not a friend, he's not an enemy, he's a George. And then we then cut to Danny being like, how did Haley know to play the idol on Laura?
It's like one of those ding 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 moments. Like the light bulb went off.
Yeah. You're like, wow, is Danny actually going to like, is something going to happen? Something big going to happen? Because, well, as much as what are they called? Previews? Is that where they show clips of the next episode? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as the previews like to go off and being like, guess what? Big target goes home next. It's usually like, that was kind of a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Danny's super suspicious how the Haley knew to play the idol on Laura. Like, she's the only one, because we hear Flick go on and being like, oh, I think it was just a lucky guess on her part. She's just somehow so smart. She do it. And Flick.
She's shy. But I wonder, well, I don't think it was just her like acting, but it's almost like if you were somebody else like on the Brains tribe, you'd be like, oh, it's just a lucky guess. Like try to get the other person to stop thinking about it. Like somebody leaked it.
Right.
I think it was just Flick going, actually thinking that.
Yeah, it's I keep saying it this season, a lot of these Brawns proving like none of them were a Brain tribe member.
No.
And again, it just kind of comes down to them kind of being gullible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like, is it a refusal to believe like, oh, nobody would betray us, or do they actually believe like, oh, it's just a lucky guess?
They can't be that dumb. Like, I mean, I get a lucky guess, but I don't know. There's no such thing as coincidence. I would be all over it. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Out of 5 people, you managed to guess the one right person.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like, if their tribe was smaller, maybe, but 5 people is a lot.
Yeah, not on a tribe of 13, and you happen to vote for the person that had an idol.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if she's not playing it on herself. Like, you've got to know when somebody's that confident to not play it on themselves that they're 100% sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, like, to bring up Chance versus the Contenders again, the final 9, when everyone knew about Daisy's idol, and she was like, who am I going to play it on? Will I play it on myself, Harry, Baden, John? And then she ultimately plays on herself when she didn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think people were more expecting that, but when it's the person they actually did vote for, you have to be it's a little sus. There's an imposter among yous. and there's 8 of them. Perfect.
Exactly.
The core 8 Brawn is just a game of Among Us. Where you have 6 crewmates and 2 imposters, and their names are George and Kara, mainly George.
See, I can see if Kez is like a little wants to keep it, but because she like only has 1. But if like if she played it on that person, I don't care who I am, I'm playing it on me, because you never know.
Yeah, because let's say Kez. I don't think Kez would have played on herself at all. She would have been like, no,
Yeah.
wait, she would have. I mean, she wouldn't have played on anyone else.
Right.
I don't think she would have pulled a Dan from like David versus Goliath, where it's like, I'm also going to protect my allies. I'm going to play this on Angelina.
Mm-hmm.
And then turns out Angelina did not get the most votes. It was your other ally. Oh, David versus Goliath was such a good season.
It was so good.
Yeah, Danny wants hate. And Danny and Emmett talk because they're the stars of the Brawn side, where to George and Haley star the Brain side. They're arguing over whether to get rid of Haley because she's smart, or Baden because he could get information from George and Kara. They mostly want Haley. Is Haley the right person to be targeting, or should they be going for somebody like Baden who could easily get information?
I'm thinking at this point that they're still not going after George. I mean, obviously they know who else would have told? He's on the bottom. Nobody likes him. Like, I don't understand how George or Wade is still in the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Too. I mean.
Yeah. And it's like, even if they lose George, they still have majority. So I don't know why it's.
Yeah, George is too much of a wild card. They should have honestly cut him.
Yeah, it's like, hold on, I'm trying to do math. It's like there's 6 Brawn plus those 2, and then let's see, there's now 4 Brain. There were 5, but now there's 7 of them. 5 original Brawn, 2 mid Brain, and then the other 5. I guess they're just trying to knock out the other Brains first before going after George and Kara, to be like, it's like a classic Survivor thing where it's like, there's 2 people that you don't trust, you just knock out, you make them feel comfortable, like they're safe for now, and then you cut them right before you get rid of like the last member of the opposing alliance. Common Survivor thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another common Survivor thing, specifically in Australia, is the twists that are too much and should not happen, because we get to the immunity challenge and we find out that not 1, not 2, but 3 people are going to win immunity. And only those 3 people will vote. I hated this.
Yeah.
I feel the same way when they did it with only those 4 people that vote. I mean, that's the whole purpose of tribal council.
See, the real gag would have been the 3 people that won couldn't vote.
Yeah.
That would have been a real gag.
That would have been more interesting.
Like, because then Brain would have had majority, I think, right? Almost? No.
Yes. Yeah, the original 5 would have had no.
Oh.
If
well, they would have had a better chance, I feel like.
Yeah, because then it would have been 5 to their 4. Yes, with George and Kara.
But it would still make sense, the ones that won not being able to vote, not the only ones that won being able to vote.
Because then it's like, it doesn't matter who the third person is.
Yeah, it's like once 2 people from one alliance wins.
Of that, which.
Yeah, which turns out is Emmett, again, Andrew, who gets screen time, and Danny, who came out of nowhere to all of a sudden get screen time. So, well on to them for winning immunity. We immediately see that Haley is frightened that she can go home. Not the first that we're going to hear of this within these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks that the only way to save herself is to throw George under that bus.
Love it.
Yeah. She goes to Danny, and at first she's like, so it's very lucky of me to guess that I played an idol correctly. Like, she starts like being like, I'm not throwing out names or betraying this person, you just happen to come up with it, until Danny's like, stop beating around the bush, just give me names. And then she's like, okay, yeah, George and Kara are just pretending to be with you guys. Was this the only option for Haley to save herself to?
I think it's because it's Danny and Emmett. I feel like that was a good option because she knows that they don't like George and Kara. At least that's what I think. And it's not like she's doing it over aggressively. She's just kind of mentioning it and kind of letting Danny run with whatever it is she wants to run with. When Danny is just like, give me names or I'll throw you under the bus. It's like, she is giving you names. I don't know what else you want her to do, but I think she did what she had to do. It's like, I don't know what else people want her to do. But
yeah, I think Danny just wanted confirmation to be like, I want to know that I'm right in thinking that it's George and Cara, and Haley was just like, yeah, you're right.
Right.
I was gonna say, I'm not good at this. I keep thinking of something and then immediately forget it.
And then I like how Emmett comes over and is like, what are you guys talking about? And then he basically, so Danny wants to get rid of Haley and Emmett wants to get rid of Baden? Or is it the other? Okay.
Yeah. Danny would rather Haley, Emmett would rather Baden.
Gotcha. I can remember it was that way or the other way around.
Yeah. I remember that because usually women target each other because they hate each other.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then men target each other because they see each other as threats.
But I like how neither of them want to do George, the person who gave away their plan.
Yeah, we see that in the next episode where it's like they don't know if it's true. And it's like, Haley's giving you all the facts. Why aren't you taking them?
Yeah. And I don't understand why people don't believe her what does she have to lose?
Yeah.
It's like,
and why would she make this up? Is she just an incredible guesser? How is she getting all these right?
Exactly. I don't understand.
Yeah. This is more of a talk in the next episode, but no wonder Andrew got no screen time because he was. And how was he on the Brains Tribe in that next episode?
I don't get it either.
Yeah, when you get people saying like, "Yeah, what she's saying is true. Yeah, she's saying is true," and then the one person that you told she's lying to you is questioning it.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this tribal. We see Haley frequently hunting for idols. And everyone is like pretty much doesn't know what to do because only the 3 immunity winners are voting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh god, this twist is so bad.
Yeah.
It can't possibly get worse. Oh wait.
Oh, but wait.
They somehow made it worse.
Way worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Haley selling her soul to the Brawn Devils. Because Emmett's like, if we keep you, will you be a double agent for us?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Like,
I think it's like what George is doing in our alliance to you, you do to your alliance for us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like if Laura or Way find an idol, like tell us.
Gotcha.
And Demet, jeez, I swear I'm good with names. Emmett still thinks that it's better to keep Haley and target Baden, but Danny is not so sure. Definitely not setting her up to make a crucial decision.
Mm-hmm.
We get to Tribal, and they somehow make this horrible twist even worse by saying everyone's doing a fire-making challenge, and the one person to win is the one person to vote.
That's so stupid.
So you're telling me one person has 9 options to vote. Exactly. What happens if an idol gets played?
Yeah, exactly. Then do they revote? And then it's like you make 2 people pick?
Yeah, it's like, all right, Danny, since you're the only, you have to revote. Vote somebody else.
And the fact that they made her go up to the voting booth and vote, that's just like...
I mean, they do that in Final Threes as well, and it's like...
more dramatic.
They're not going to pull a Big Brother and be like, all right, I'm just going to say who I'm voting off.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of wish they did do. Like, Big Brother's a horrible show, but the one thing I do like... yeah, the Big Brother challenge people really made me just hate Big Brother more. So yeah, I kind of just wish the person in immunity would just stand up and say, like, I'm voting off whoever.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm taking this person to the end.
Exactly.
Or cut out the voting. Make them do fire. Like, I think actually that would be better. Because the last jury member is always bitter, and they're always like asking, well, why didn't you bring me to the end?
Mm-hmm.
Whether if they would like how they do Final Fours, but just do that for Final Threes.
Right.
That would make that twist so much better. And if they didn't introduce on a bad season. So they're talking about the fire making. Everyone's banking their money on Andrew. They're the same person. Andrew because he does this for a living, and some people are banking on Emmett because it's Emmett. Nobody banks on Danny because she is a woman.
I like how she keeps bringing it up.
It's
like, look at me.
What
Look
about like what about me? It's like no.
Nope.
Like no. But shocker to no one, Danny. Well, shocker to the cast, shocker to nobody watching because Survivor does not know how to edit properly. Danny wins and gets the sole decision on who to vote off, and she votes. And her decision is Baden, which she misspells.
See, I at first thought she was voting for Haley because on the shot on the side you saw the Y, like you see her do a Y, and I'm like, oh, she's voting for Haley.
Yeah, it's like no, she just doesn't know how to spell Baden right.
No.
I didn't see that because usually the boring parts or the predictable ones I just skip through. It's like just get me to the results.
Gotcha.
That's another reason why I didn't like Big Brother, because I'd always get spoiled on Twitter, the results, and I just end up looking at the wikis like, all right, who did this person nominate? Oh, it's these people that I like, of course. Who won the veto? Oh, somebody that I don't know. Who's evicted? My favorite.
There you go. That's how it always happens.
Yep. Hopefully that doesn't happen with this week. It probably will.
Probably right.
Yeah. So Baden gets voted off. So I did like how the host was like, Baden, Danny has spoken.
I don't know why she did Baden though. Like, you're just doing other people. If you didn't want Baden, then why did you? It's like,
I think the whole argument's like George could be leaking information to Baden. Like that definitely got at her. It's like, if I get rid of Haley, George is still going to leak information to this one person that's still aligned with him.
But it's Haley. George is still going to leak information to the Brains tribe no matter what.
Yeah, I think they just assumed that he was leaking it to Baden, and Baden told everybody else.
Gotcha.
Assumption in Survivor. Who would have thought?
Never good.
Never. Because it's usually always wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody great has to suffer. But in this case, it was Baden, who we saw random moments from. It was always intervened. But Australian Survivor is not done with its twists.
Not done.
Not done. Baden goes to Redemption Rock, also known as Exile Island.
Right.
Where there's a game within a game.
A game within a game.
That's pretty much it. So we get to the next episode. Baden arrives on Redemption Rock, which
is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, it looks better than the actual camps. They should have made that the merge camp.
Right.
And then the actual camp that they're at, just make that Exile Island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm just going to be calling it Exile Island because it's just the exact same.
Perfect.
Yeah. And we've always seen Exile Island. We always see this Exile Island twist. Welcome back.
We're at Exile.
I was listening. Like I said, it started to rain, and I dry my clothes outside, the towels and blankets to save on the environment, and look what I get.
Yeah. Curse you, Rain. They're not in. Well, no, there's never been somebody on Survivor named Rain. I'm thinking X Factor. Yeah. So you said you were listening. Do you have any thoughts on the whole fire making twist, Danny choosing Baden and not Haley, and Redemption Rock?
I think it's just all too much of twisty twist. I want to see Survivor. I want to see what I signed up to watch. People voting at Tribal Council, not 20 idols, not 600 different twists.
Mm-hmm.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
The one where they battle, where somebody goes to redemption, but immediately, you know what I mean? Not where they're just like a build up of 6 or 7 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've always hated redemption twists and will always continue to hate them because they're never good. Drag Race is the only way that does it kind of decent. Oh yeah, we were saying how Redemption Rock or Exile Island looks much better than the actual camps.
That place is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
so pretty.
Yeah,
I'll agree.
Yeah, if only actual Survivor not actual US Survivor can do stuff like that instead of constantly being stuck in Fiji. Speaking of Fiji, we're going to see that again in around a month.
Woo!
Woo! Oh I did it again. I was going to say something, then I forgot.
It's okay.
Oh, I was talking about the history of the exile twist. Because it's something we now see every season, because we saw it in Champions vs. Contenders 1, and then every season after that. With we saw Tegan come back, we saw Simon come back, the boring Simon, not this season Simon. And then we saw 2 iterations of it in All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
I think this twist should just not happen. Like, it was okay when you did it the first time, but every other time you did it, it was unnecessary, or just why?
Mm-hmm.
What are your guys' thoughts on
help
this?
Get the players they want back in the game.
See, I can see if you if you start it at the very beginning, like if it was started from the very first vote off, because then otherwise it looks rigged depending on where you put it. But
I don't like starting it from the very first vote off, because then it lasts so long. I mean, if somebody leaves in their first boot, 6 rounds later, they have no right coming back into the game. I am not a fan of it.
Sorry, Natalie.
I mean, maybe if they battle it out for 1 round, I was okay with this being that, but it looks like it's set up because it happened to be this round. Maybe if they told, or I don't know, they could do a pre-recorded thing where it's okay, we're about to start production, and round 7 we'll have this, round 4 we'll have this. Maybe if they could do that to ensure us that it wasn't a rigged thing, I would feel better about it.
Right.
Yeah. Survivor and riggery, who would have thought?
But yeah, we still watch and complain, so I guess.
Yeah, we're still here. I think definitely the biggest obvious of it being riggery was definitely All Stars, where it was literally when Zach and Shawnee first got voted off. They just you're voted off. Okay, now you're back. They didn't even have to do a challenge. It was just okay, you're just at exile for the night.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were just back in the tribal swap. And then the whole 6 people are being sent to exile, and one by one you'll be won back, and then you can only vote between these 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
When Zach eventually went home, which was the one good vote of the merge. Because the one time David didn't have power. I wonder if we're going to get that this season.
Don't know.
Hopefully.
We'll have to wait and see.
Okay. Says needs to be. Oh, Baden's talking about his final 2 situation and comes to the conclusion that he needs a Brawn in the end to win. Because I think he's all the Brains are going to automatically vote for me. And the Brains outnumbered the Brawns in jury. So I personally don't like it when everything is constantly based off of old tribal lines. We're at the merge, and it's still technically Brains versus Brawn.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Do you like that it's constantly stuck with tribal lines, and that's how jury members mostly vote?
No, I don't like that. I mean, that's why they have the swap, the mix-up and stuff. I don't like that. People use that as, well, we're original tribe, so.
And it's if it was still, I would like it better if almost the swap teams stayed together in the merge, because then you'd have some mix of Brain and some mix of Brawn. But I don't know.
Yeah, but even in those, it's always we're sticking with the swap people, but we're sticking with the OG tribes that we were just swapped with.
Yeah.
It's it's never. Let's do a season where just it's no tribes. It's just constant merge.
Ooh, that could be sloppy. So many votes at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe instead of it's 20 people voting at the first tribal, it's all right, everyone competes in a challenge. The first 10 to finish wins immunity. The other 10 all go to tribal.
Something I like that. Like the Darwin thing. Survival.
That'd be
yeah. So it's just like that, but the number can change. It's all right, the first when it gets to 13, it'd be okay, then it's now proper one. It's
not creating his own LRG.
Ooh. I'm writing that down for an org idea. Nobody steal it.
Gotcha.
I have recorded proof that this is
Survivor
mine.
does it, we'll tell him it was your idea.
Sign us up.
I have a lot. I came up with a lot of ideas that if Survivor stole, I can easily sue them.
Susan and Jessica, final 2 of Lee's LRG.
There we go.
we are back to camp where Emmett is surprisingly he was very calm. Like he didn't show like any. Just kidding. He was bragging about how he was delighted that a Brain left.
As always, he is.
Yes. Brain is spelled. How's Brain? I think I spelled it. A Brian left.
Essentially.
A Brian.
A Brian.
Yeah.
Incorporated.
But all of a sudden, we hear people are upset because just like the edit, Chelsea is missing. Not just from the edit, from the actual camp.
Sad.
Apparently, she got taken after tribal by medical, and she's having a Georgia situation where she's away for 24 hours to be tested for medical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is worried. We see that Danny is very upset because her and Chelsea are very close because they're the Brawn women that were on Simon's alliance. And
I like how she was gone. There was something that said, "Oh, it's been well over 24 hours."
Yeah, I think Flick said that before, like it was announced. Like, yeah, Chelsea's gone, not from the edit, from the actual show.
It's like, then why is she?
Yeah, I seen she posted. Chelsea posted on Twitter about it being just too rough on her body. She was too dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chelsea, if you're somehow watching this, we wish you well. We wish you all the health, and we wish you had more screen time.
Yes, more screen time.
Yes, because we've had people leave in medical situations that had more screen time. We've seen people quit that have more screen time than Chelsea, and that is such a shame because Chelsea could have been somebody that could have been interesting, but we never got the chance to know her.
Yeah.
But we're really getting ahead of ourselves. While Danny's upset that for emotional reasons, Emma's upset for alliance reasons because if Chelsea goes, then they're down in a number. Way to show the heart, mate.
He's trying.
Yeah.
Well, some people just can't get out of game mode.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably be like that as well. It's like if I ever do somehow play Survivor, I'd be like, I don't care about you people's emotions. Why are you crying?
That'd be me. I'd be the crier of the group.
I'd have to yell at you, be like, "Stop crying!"
I'm the crier of the group, so that's it.
I'd be asking why are people crying while I'm crying.
Yeah,
it's like, why are you all crying?
Yeah, no, I'm the crier of the group. Just hold me and tell me everything's gonna be okay.
Everything's okay. Everything's okay. We'll vote you off. That way you go to Ponderosa and get food. Once again, George talks about how much he loves Cara.
Always George. But we never see Kara's confessionals, just George.
Yeah, because
Cara gets lost on her way to confessionals. Or at least in my head she does. That's why she doesn't have a lot of them. I figure she's just wandering around aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
She still doesn't know where she's probably looking for a sandwich. Again, George talks about being a double agent, and apparently Flick told people that she has Kez's idol. Why, Flick? Why would you tell? Actually, I should expect this from Flick because.
See, we wonder who she told because we didn't even get any airtime on that. So
yeah, like we just apparently Flick told George.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Just George?
So then everybody knows if she told George.
Everyone knows now.
Yeah. Like, apparently Flick and George are secret final duo. Like, it's not George and Cara, it's George and Flick.
I'd live for that, actually.
Oh, God. Make it happen, editors.
Yeah.
And then George tells the old brains about how Flick has Kez's idol, and Haley is nervous, but not for her safety for once. It's nervous that that George is going to find out that Danny and Emmett know about her throwing George under the cargo bus.
Why does she care?
Yeah. Danny's emotional, something. And then Emmett I said Emmy tells George. I do not know how to spell.
Close enough.
Emmett tells George that I wrote Hey Key. Emmy tells George that Hey Key leaked was leaked, and George plays the number one rule that every politician does and denies.
Deny.
Nope.
He didn't do it. Not George.
Nope, not me. Nope.
Welcome to your I can't speak. Welcome to your politician's entry exam. Please avoid answering all these questions.
Deny.
Yeah. Immunity challenge. It's a spelling challenge. Emmett wins. Nobody cares. Hey,
And
worried.
can we just backtrack to last week's episode when Lee's like, can we just stack block to spell immunity, please?
I predicted it. I knew. I can tell the future. Yeah.
I liked how it curved, though. I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, it was like a seesaw. It wasn't just like a straight line.
And but I also didn't like how the line they had to go back to was halfway in the middle. Like, why didn't they have to go all the way back to be done? Like, the line was just in the middle. I'm like, okay, just make it go all the way back, not in the middle.
They're trying to be different.
Yeah,
I guess.
They're trying to give Emmett those easy wins. Because Emmett wins again. Third immunity in a row where no one's happy. Maybe the Emmett fans in his head are happy. Is anyone?
But would they have voted him out though? Probably not.
No.
No, I think they got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, bigger fish than the guy who won 3 immunities. And has been winning all the challenges for his other, well, not winning, but doing the best out of his other tribe.
Right.
Once again, Heiki is worried. We're getting the same this is the point where it's like we're getting the exact same story that we've gotten the past 2 episodes. Emmett wins, Danny emotional, Haley worried, and George leaking.
Same story.
Yeah.
Same story.
Yeah, apparently Danny never votes emotionally. Okay.
Huh.
Really? So those constant votes from saying like you needed Haley on were not emotional.
No. So
strategic.
who was the Brawn's target this week? Haley. Was it Haley?
Yep.
Or was it actually Haley?
It's actually Haley.
Okay.
Because she doesn't have an
who
idol.
the Brawn's target again?
We don't know because they kept
saying, I forgot.
I think they kept saying Gerald's name.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Like,
then they went on that Haley rampage where
it was like George now wants everybody to vote Haley. It's like we all have to unify over our hatred of Haley and get rid of her. Like, it's not more that his alliance has to vote off Haley. Everyone must vote
her
off
alliance. Her alliance also.
Yeah. Apparently he goes to Andrew and he's like, vote Haley, you have my word. And apparently that's just a drug to Andrew. Be like, you said the magic words, I now obey you.
Yeah.
Where everybody gets to tribal. George gets called out. Haley gets called out, and then George gets called out. Haley tells everyone that George told me all this information, and George is not answering the questions.
God, I can't. If Jonathan asks you a question and you don't answer it, you know that he's lying.
Yeah.
Like, if he can't even answer that question, all Jonathan says, is she lying, yes or no? And he ignores the question. And then Evan even says yes or no. And he still doesn't even say yes or no. Like, that right there is you're lying. If you can't even answer the question.
All he keeps saying is, this is his answer to everything. I'm loyal.
Yeah.
I'm loyal. I'm loyal. It's like, it's running it. Just answer the flipping question. Just answer the flicking question.
Yes. Just yes or no.
Yeah. Cue Brandon from Survivors. We needed Brandon from South Pacific, where it's like yes or no.
Yeah.
I'd just be screaming that in his face if I asked him. Just say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yes or no.
And
just
he would still probably ignore you, probably.
Yeah. Why couldn't you just simply say no? It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Is Haley telling the truth? No.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I don't know why Haley kept the idol a secret for so long, and why she only whispered it to Flick. I don't know why she didn't announce it.
No, she later did.
It's like, I also know this.
Yeah, and then apparently nobody else on the Brawn tribe knew that Flick had an idol.
Yeah, so.
Which is not true. politics answer. Haley reveals all, and then Haley gets voted off 9-1. And you're noticing I don't have my vote things up because I was just so pissed because they were not voted off, and I was really annoyed. And it's a unanimous vote, which is never fun to watch.
Like her own alliance vote for her. That's kind of shit.
Yeah, and even in that tribal, Way and Laura were like, "Yeah, Haley's telling the truth. George is telling us everything." And then you had Andrew over there who was like, "Well, the first words he speaks in 16 episodes."
Yeah. And just like, I don't get it.
These invisible players, you're starting to understand why some of them are invisible.
See, like I understand like them trying to believe George with the whole like vote thing, like the idol playing on Laura. But if Haley knows something like personal about like the idol, how else would she know that?
Yeah. And how did she know it was Kez's idol? She didn't say I know Flick has an idol. She said I know Flick has Kez's idol.
Yeah.
Like,
and they still believe George. They still believe George. I don't get it.
It's hard to tell. It's like, is it that they believe George or did they just want Haley gone that bad? It's probably both for all we know. It's like, yes, we believe George. And it's also happened to be targeting Haley, which we are doing. It's just, this is probably.
You gotta give George credit. He got everybody to vote how he wanted.
That is cool, though. That was pretty cool. But it's
I don't even give that to George because he was like politicians. Cool, there's a reason why nobody cares about politicians and how they answer questions. I don't really give it to George. I just believe the Brawn tribe was just that stupid.
Oh, they are.
I'm glad George got stupid players.
Yeah. No, I don't think George is a good player. I think everyone else is just that bad.
I think George understands, but he's just.
He understands. He's
very
He doesn't know how to execute it.
About going about it.
Yeah. He knows how to come up with a great plan. He just never knows how to execute a great plan. I think that's what I'm thinking. I think that's the right way to describe it. I don't know. George fans, give me hate or something and tell me what I'm missing.
He executed 2 great plans. See, I'm a George fan, but I don't like how he did went about this last tribal. Like, you're not making it. I don't know how you convince people to believe you, but it's like you're making yourself more non-believable. You just don't answer the freaking question. But it's like that vote was him going around telling people, and the Laura plan, getting Kez out, was his idea, and he convinced people to do it. So
yeah, I will give that one to him. This Haley vote, however, no.
See, even though it was Danny's and Emmett's idea, they didn't do anything to convince other people to vote Haley out. George was the one that went around and told other people to do it.
Yeah, they were just. Yeah, George did tell one story that.
That's what I'm saying, but he told people to do it. Like,
yeah.
That's crazy that they did it. Like, they are dumb for doing it, but I give George credit for being here. And if he is not one of the next round's boots, he's got a really good chance.
Yeah.
Depending on how mad he is.
Yeah. I'm just saying George is smart, but the others are just that dumb. So Haley gets voted off, and she also goes to Redemption Rock, where it's completely not obvious that she is returning. Not at all. It's a fair fight. Haley's out, gone to Redemption Rock. No sign of Chelsea at all. Flick says, been well over 24 hours. We see Jonathan, and he's like, Chelsea's not coming back. She's out. And then everybody cries. And that's the end of Chelsea. I would ask what were your thoughts of her, but I'm convinced none of you remembered who she was.
See, I just wish I would have got more of her. Like, she seemed so, in Simon and Emmett's alliance, but we didn't even get to see her.
Yeah.
So I wish we would have got more screen time. So.
Yeah. Survivor just hates anyone named Chelsea. And then here's the biggest question. Who's more invisible? Ghost Island Chelsea or Brain versus Brawn Chelsea? That's the next war.
See, I don't even remember Ghost Island Chelsea. So if
Yeah,
that's
I don't either. Every time he brings her up, I'm like, I always have to go look her up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I don't.
She's the one who had like an emotional confessional over coffee, and she has red hair. She won 2 immunities.
Nope.
I know that's crazy. Like every time he brings her up, I'm like, I'm gonna remember her, and I never do.
That's only because I can weirdly remember every Survivor player. But
Next
I
time I
just
have a
can't
trivia, I'll call you.
do. I'm actually really good at it. I have an entire hardback full of Survivor stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Random Survivor seasons.
Oh, that Chelsea. Ah.
Look, I
There
told you
you
if you looked her up, you'd be like, oh, and you're not going to remember her next week.
I'm going to probably bring her up again, and I might just bring her up for fun and be like, do you guys remember Ghost Island Chelsea? And you'll be like, the one from One World?
God.
I don't know
that
why she's so forgettable.
She's the least edited player in all of US Survivor. Purple Kelly has more screen time than her. Thank you, Idle Doubt, for making that video that I stole that from. Haley and Baden then go at Redemption Rock. At first, Haley didn't know that it was Baden at all. She just thought it was some, producer or cameraman maybe sleeping. And they get to talking. Haley's all like, have to go back in, and Baden's just very passive about it. And Haley makes comments like, this isn't like a cycling thing where it's like, oh, if my alliance member or teammate wins, that's just like I win, which is really annoying when somebody has that mentality. It's like, as long as this, I don't mind if I don't win, then why are you on the show?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, if you want to go and make friends, go on the UK version of Big Brother, because that's all about making friends and then just being an audience favorite. There's no skill involved in it. For some reason, everybody keeps bringing up the Tour de France. For some reason, it's just like slowly mentioned.
Yeah.
The episode is not over, and it's the one good thing from this block of 3 episodes that they did not make us wait till next week to find out who goes home between Haley and Baden. So it's a classic log hanging challenge, and Haley wins after only 20 minutes.
Yeah, you knew it didn't last very long when they're like, oh, you've been hanging for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's a key clue I noticed.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to hang for very long if you're... And they're like, oh, Baden's done many Tour de France's. It's going to help with it. Like, how is cycling going to help him here? Just because he has like mental and physical strength to bike for forever doesn't mean he can hang from a log for forever.
Yeah. You have a cyclist versus somebody who studies pain and knows how to manipulate it for a living. So after 20 minutes of barely hanging on, Baden drops and Haley's back into the game to the fans' happiness, but nobody in the cast. It's like, haha, you all vote for me. I have no allies. Now, is this going to be a situation where Haley comes back into the game and then immediately gets voted off, or is she going to last a bit longer?
I'm going to go with, I don't know, because it can go either way. I mean, obviously, everybody voted her. She has some kind of vengeance, but they could also use that to their advantage.
Yeah. I would say before the preview was announced, I would say, because they say, oh, we'll just vote her right back off anyway. But then the preview indicates something totally different is going to happen. So yeah, I hope she stays a little bit longer. I hate when like someone comes back and then you just vote them out right away, because then it's like you're just wasting a vote.
Yeah, that's usually why I don't like redemption twists, because it's usually the person who just goes home regardless, and they usually never win. Thanks, Chris Underwood, for breaking that stereotype, I guess, but I'd rather if it was just kept. Edge of Extinction, worst season of Survivor. And thanks to that, Baden is gone, and he becomes the first jury member. Yay!
I wonder if it would have happened if Chelsea would have been there.
I think if Chelsea was there, he wouldn't have.
Oh, okay.
Because Chelsea was the quote-unquote math help 13th person voted off, 13th eliminated. So they need to have a jury of 9 for the final 2.
Gotcha.
So if Chelsea was there, Baden would have just went home. Another thing I hate about this exile twist, the person who goes home never gets to keep their buff. They always have to burn it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, please stop doing that, Survivor. Like, let the person keep their buff.
Yeah.
Like, when they first did it and Anita had to burn her buff, I was like, oh no, like, she's like
Yeah.
a proper fan, and that would have been so cool for her to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And you just made her burn in the fire.
See, it's gonna suck for Baden because it's like I feel like it would be good as like a dad. It would be, you'd want to like go home and see your kids, but then it's like you want to stay.
Yeah.
It'd be hard.
So, what were y'all thoughts on Baden this season?
I liked Baden. He wasn't awful, but he wasn't like.
Yeah, I didn't mind him. I mean, he placed in jury, which I expected him at least in jury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder who's going to vote for if George and Kara aren't in the final 2.
Depends on who is.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know between George, Kara, Haley, and Danny who he's going to vote for. Actually, no, just George, Kara, and Haley.
Yeah.
And Baden joins the elite group of people voted off with 1 vote. However, he's the only person to not be in a final 3. To be voted off 1-0. Squinting to read the tiny writing.
Gonna put my glasses on.
Oh, I know. I'm like blowing up the screen, Micronesia.
Yeah. All these people were voted off at the final 3 with 1 vote.
But that's when you're supposed to have the 1 vote, not be the first jury member.
Yeah. So, what was your vote count, first juror? I only got 1 vote. Huh? It's this long, complicated twist that really shouldn't have been done.
Cass and Sari, bless them.
Oh. Yeah, some fan favorites, Cass and Sari, who were voted off 1-0 when seasons prior were final 3 situations. So that's our 3 episodes. We somehow managed to still get 3 people eliminated. And once again, I brought it back. Thanks, Kate. Thank you, Keep Torchlit Podcast, for letting me steal your idea in Survivor Placement Rankings.
Woohoo!
Yay! First off, we're going to start off with Kez in the 13th place spot. We got Ross from Chancers Contenders 2, Heath from Chancers Contenders 1, Nick in his All-Star season. I actually do forget who this person was. Oh, it was Connor from the first season and Odette from 2017. So where will y'all rank Kez in this group of people?
How bad is it that I only remember Odette?
Very, since she is at the bottom.
I remember Nick, Connor, and Odette. Heath, was he the really tall one?
Yes.
Okay.
He was Tegan's right-hand person.
Yep. Okay.
And then Ross was the one who got injured in the challenge and had to leave.
Oh, he was the shorter guy. He was the one that when he swung and he.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I ranked it. That's why he's ranked the highest because of his missed potential and the fact that he went home because of an injury.
Yes, that guy was so good. Yeah. He was funny.
Yeah.
I would say for me somewhere I would say between Nick and Connor for me.
I would place her low only because just like with Simon, the signs were there. You had 2 idols, and idol got played by a person that
had 1 idol.
Well, I don't know. I would rank her lower just because of that.
Now, I think I would actually rank her just above Odette because in Connor's situation, Connor was entering a merge in a minority tribe, while Kez entered with a majority. However, Kez was idled out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of like looking at Kez's game overall in comparison to Connor's overall. Yeah. I think Kez's is slightly worse.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so congratulations, Kez. You're slightly better than Odette. While I'm doing this, y'all can try to remember Chelsea and try to rank her somewhere.
Chelsea. Who's Chelsea? Oh.
This Chelsea. Medevac Chelsea.
Who's this red person?
So this one is Kate.
Yep.
Followed by Lockie in All Stars, Lydia in Champs vs. Contenders 1, Jared in 2017, and Andy in Champs vs. Contenders 2.
Andy's the glasses.
Yeah, he's the idiot superfan.
Yeah, okay. See, I remember everyone from this row.
I actually know everybody from this row as well. Which sucks because I can never remember Chelsea.
Okay, so we're just going to put her at the bottom.
Yeah, sorry, Chelsea.
Or slightly above Andy.
Blame editing, only because they didn't give her anything, and I don't know what she did or didn't do.
Yeah, as much as I think Andy's like one of the worst Survivor players ever, at least he got more of an edit. And then finally, we have to rank Baden in his group of, I would say first jurors, but it's weird, of 11th placers. So first we have Annalise from the 2017 season, followed by Harry in All Stars, Sean in Champs vs. Contenders 2, Nick in his first season, 2016, and then Robbie from Champs vs. Contenders 1. So where do you all think Baden should place?
I have to look up Robbie.
He was young, fit, hot guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was not Zach or Benji.
Hold on.
Well, I don't know the red person.
It's oh wait, you still haven't
because that's the only season I have no. I mean, I kind of know just from what I read, but I've never seen it.
Who's Sean?
He was the tall guy that Daisy was like ride or die with. He was
the
apparently
really tall guy.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna go with Baden. Definitely wasn't better than Harry. So any spot below Harry, I'd be okay with.
Now I was thinking either putting Baden in between Sean and Nick or Robbie and Nick.
Hold on, I gotta. Nick.
Oh. Nick in his first All-Star, in his first season, not in his All-Stars.
Whoa. No.
Because as much as like Nick was like a fan favorite, he did kind of put himself in a bad situation with his snaky play very early on. While Sean was like an obvious get rid of because of immunity challenge threat.
I'm gonna go with between Nick and Robbie.
I think that's a good place. I wish I knew. So make that yellow and then change the name to Baden. And unlike Danny, I'm going to spell it right. So you guys happy with those placements?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why Annalise is above Harry, it's because she would have stayed had the whole idol nullifier not happened. Because that was
the idol nullifier either. That's another thing I wish they would completely take out of Survivor.
Yeah, this was the first introduction of it because it's when Ziggy had like that super idol where it's like it can be played as an idol and cancel another idol out. So that is the Kings. Thank you for helping. And those are the 3 episodes. What did y'all think of them?
I'm just glad Haley's back.
I mean, they weren't predictable, but they were, you know what I'm saying? I mean, other than the goofy like twists and this person gave an idol, but they were voted out and only you get to vote. Like that was the most exciting parts of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was the worst 3 episode block out of the bunch.
I can't wait to see who goes next, though.
Yeah, they said everyone is sharing like which big player is going next, and it's a picture of George, Haley, Danny, and Emmett, and everyone's just like, Oh wow, they showed the whole cast.
I just hope that we get more screen time from people, and I hope like somebody other than Emmett wins immunity.
Yeah, I fear today. I actually no, I don't, because I feel like even if Emmett doesn't win immunity, nobody will go after him.
Yeah,
because he has the pretty boy charm where he gets away with everything.
that's stupid. I don't get it.
I'm hoping we get like I don't know. Let's get some more Wade confessionals. Come on.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's get a Flick confession. Let's actually hear from Jared, which we haven't. Gerald, not Jared.
Gerald.
Uh,
Yeah, we haven't heard from him at all. But he's losing a bunch of weight. Good on him.
Good for yay. We have not heard from Gerald since before the tribe swap. He has not gone confessional since.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and for some reason the brains keep targeting him, but not actually writing out his name.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh, we never discussed this. When with Haley's fake vote off, she voted for Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Most screen time he's ever gotten.
Woohoo!
Yeah, let's see if Andrew can make it to 30 seconds of screen time. And not say something that will make you want to rip your hair out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Poor Andrew. He deserved better.
Yeah, a survivalist losing a fire making challenge.
I love it.
Yeah. So that is the end of our recap episode. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Susan and Jessica for joining here today. If you guys want to see more live reality games stuff, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the Facebook group, all that other jazz.
Do all the things.
Yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Share with your friends. Link in bio. If you want to hear more things Australian Survivor, there's a Survivor Reddit Discord where we talk all things Australian Survivor, actual Survivor, some horrible show called Big Brother. I wouldn't recommend. I would not recommend it. A bunch of fan survivors. Jessica mentioned a one Survivor Reelfoot. There's other college. Is that College Survivor?
Yeah.
There's other College Survivor. I didn't know if Reelfoot was.
Oh, Reelfoot's not. No, sorry. I thought you said it was a College Reelfoot. Or College Survivor, yeah.
There's plenty of other Survivor orgs, College Survivors, other things. And yeah, we'll see you next week where hopefully the season will be more interesting and people will get a proper edit. So, bye everyone.
Bye.